皆さんこんにちは、naruです。本編を見たい方は YouTube のチャプター機能からスキップしてください。お久しぶりです。1ヶ月もの間動画の投稿ができずすみませんでした。いつも動画を見てくださって本当にありがとうございます。皆さんのコメントが励みになっていますので、これからも引き続きよろしくお願いします。今回は Lights Out と Tweek Talks からゴールデンウィークの大会について話しているところを翻訳しました。ほぼ Lights Out ですが、最後に少しだけおまけで Tweek Talks を入れています。今回も最後に英単語の解説をつけています。よかったら見てください。それではどうぞ。
I know you were saying that in the other podcast that you don't really care about going to Japan because you want to claim number one in America first. But why does that even matter now? This is definitely a regional thing now where you are the one who defends. You are the best player in the States right now because you're the only one who doesn't fold to the foreign players that come over here and try to steal our luxury tournaments and get first place here because you always stop them. So you're the one who defends us the most. You're the most important player to us. So fuck that. Let's go to Japan and let's win there.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm almost there. I got one more thing I need to do. I beat Tweek, and I'm really happy that I beat him. I beat Sonics, and, you know, I got to keep doing that, but he's not even America. That's an NA thing. I'm better than Zomba. All I got to do is secure my bag versus Shattuck, and I'm the best in America.
I got you,
and
bro.
I
got you. My corn coming back.
I'm not.
My corn coming back.
I am not the best player in America right now. I can humbly admit that the best player in America is Shattuck, and that is very true, and he's incredible, but I'm not far off, and no one beats me forever. I will figure it out.
Yeah.
And once I figure it out, maybe I will go this year.
You know what?
I got you, bro.
Hold on. I do want to say.
But if I go to Japan, if I go to Japan, I'm not going for one tournament. I'm staying there. Like, I'm not doing that shit. I'm staying for at least 2 weeks because I'm going to learn. You know, like, I'm deleting Twitter. If I lose, I lose, but I will not come out a loser. I will come out in those top 8s.
And we're gonna jam it.
Yeah, I'm down.
I like it.
All right, bet. I guess I'm leading the storyline. Let's fucking do it.
Look, Light, I want to say when we organize this revenge tour on Japan, okay, it's gonna be you, Shattuck, Tweek need to be the U.S. reps that get over there at the same time. All right, we gotta send you over there like the
I'll be there too.
And Cosmo, the NA Avengers right there. And I'll be what's that nigga with the eye patch? I'm gonna be him. Cause y'all gonna have to have a leader who can delegate and encourage and make sure you all keep your heads
Nick
on
Fury?
straight. Yeah, I'm Nick Fury. I'm Nick Furious, nigga, cause I'm mad. All right? I'm gonna be there and we gonna stop up to oblivion.
Let's declare this arc. Let's declare this arc the Japan training arc, starting with Gamal and LTC.
It begins.
And let's fucking we'll start with the Civil War, baby.
But his ego, the reason that people are not playing as hard online, going to enough locals, talking to each other, putting themselves out there to get on the same footing as, because when I watched that tournament, let me tell you something, I couldn't believe it. I swore I couldn't believe. I was like, there's so many people. I was like, look at this crowd of Japanese people. They're all so excited to be there. They're supporting each other, supporting the event. I loved it. I loved the camaraderie. And I was like, but they don't know. They don't know that we got our own Godzilla coming through the stomp here way into that top 8. I'm talking about Spargo. And then he got like 30, 30, 20. What the fuck is going on? How do we fix this? How do we change this?
I personally do feel like ego does play a factor into it, but not in a way that you would think it does, but in a way where I wouldn't say like they're too like the US has too much of an ego or US players have too much of an ego, but I feel like Japanese players just are completely humble and don't care about anything, because there are even times where like they don't get embarrassed by anything. There are Japanese players that will even ask me or DM me for questions or advice on how to play matches or stuff like that. Like they'll use Google Translate and ask me, because there's a point where Shuton asked me for advice. There was a point where I don't remember who. I'm pretty sure it was Goryoka, and I was like, why are you asking me? But I still helped him, which is like, because he had no shame in asking me. I'm not sure if it was Goryoka, so I'll have to double check on that. But I do remember that Shuton asked me for advice when he had to play SkyJ, and I gave him advice, and he ended up winning. But yeah, like, yeah, I do think that it is an ego thing, because a lot of people definitely aren't like. There was a point where I was at Level Up Expo, and I wanted to warm up for bracket, and obviously it's a thing where, like, if you are gonna play somebody in tournament, you usually don't play them before bracket, so you usually try to play other people. So it was kind of hard to find people to play at Level Up Expo to warm up for a top 16 because nobody wanted to play.
And it's a heavy tournament, right?
Yeah, and it's like people were already playing each other because they had to play. Like, funny enough, the person that I could play, obviously not before top 16, but I played the entire weekend, was Light. Even though we knew that we had to play in top 16, we didn't care because we had bigger goals. But like,
that's the gang.
Yeah, but
we've
like
always done that.
Yeah, exactly. We don't care. Yeah. But I went up to Lima and asked him to play, and he just said no. I was like, okay, well, that's how you feel. And then I asked Louis Money if he wanted to play. He was in loser bracket, and he was like, I don't know, because I actually have to play loser of you and Light. If he beats his first match, which I don't remember who it was, but it was like pretty convincing that he was gonna win that match. But he also said no. So it was hard to find somebody to play at that tournament. I ended up playing Mr. E because I feel like he's also in a scenario. But yeah, my whole point is that it is harder to find people to play at tournaments oftentimes because they don't want to give out their secrets. That is a thing, and they don't want to. They rather not play you and not like get the practice, and because they want to beat you in bracket. People in Japan seemingly don't really care about that. They'll play you, they'll always help each other. And I do see that sense of camaraderie way more in Japan overall than the overall American scene. There are cliques like that, like me, Light, and Void, and people like that. We always try to help each other whenever we have questions or have to play someone. But that clique, that like kind of camaraderie between us doesn't extend outward throughout all of the states, basically.
I like it. And it makes sense to me, and I'll take it. Sonics, we've been discussing the bloodbath that took place at Kagaribi in Delta. What are your thoughts on Japan smacking the shit out of NA's finest?
I think that obviously, like, Japan is ahead of NA. In terms of skill, like that, there's no debating that, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's unfair to like put people in a box and say, oh, the entirety of NA, a whole ass continent, is worse than a country that has like some of the best infrastructure in the world, some of the best transit, like ways to get to tournaments, some of the best tournaments, period. Like some of the best venues, a bunch of locals. You know what I mean? And a scene, above all that, a scene that constantly supports their, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, they support each other. Like, it's constantly looking to improve themselves.
Yeah. Which,
I'm not saying that it doesn't happen in NA, but the way it happens in Japan feels a lot more organic. I think this is the way to describe it. And you may be thinking, oh, well, how does that even like, what impact does that have in the gameplay? Well, it's easy. Like, top players have, or not top players, lower level players have more access to top players because they get to play them at their locals, because top players just go for the sake of competing and the passion for the game. And overall, like, I don't know. I think they're just more disciplined, man. And I think that's, I don't know if it's a difference in culture and mentality, but I feel like Japanese players overall are more disciplined and are willing to do what it takes to win, and are much less of complainers than Americans. Like, they, you know, I don't think I've ever seen a single Japanese player, like top player, just lose and then go to Twitter and be like, damn, this character is lame, ban this character, or I can't do anything against this character. Like they're always like, oh man, I lost, but it's okay, we'll try again next time. And they leave it at that.
Always like, this player is strong. Thank you.
Yeah.
This player is so strong. That's what they always say.
Exactly. And yeah, and I also, to add on to what I was saying earlier about ego, I think it's an ego thing, 100%. And not that most people may be thinking, but rather, dude, how many people invaded Japan? Like, how?
I think overall, like
We had like
8 or 9.
Yeah, we had a lot of people.
From like North America, it was Jazzo, Goblin, Base Mage, Leo, Spargo, Meister, and Big Boss. So that's 7, I believe.
Okay, 7. And I guarantee you that...
And then Gluto was there.
Gluto was there, right. And I guarantee you that, and this is no shade and no disrespect towards anybody that went there, right? But
Zomba too, our Genesis champion.
Zomba Big D, right? Yeah. So like 10 overall, basically.
10. Regardless, yeah, like I guarantee you that most, if not none of them, actually like studied up for the relevant Japanese players. And like that's what I was saying. It's like you can't expect to go to a different country, and just win by pure, I'm gonna better player this guy because I'm just a better player. Like that's not how it works. And I think that, and I've seen this and I've talked to a lot of people about it, like a lot of top players about like, hey, like, listen, man, I'll go to a tournament and I'll ask people like top players, and I'll bring Light up into this because he does not fucking know who he has to play in bracket. I'll be like, yo, how's your bracket looking like? Who do you play? Oh, actually don't. And like literally like before top 64 starts, he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think, and I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I bet you that those Japanese players did prepare for the invaders, because even if they didn't purposely prepare because they were like, oh, I got this guy coming here, let me look up their habits or the character, they are like well known. Like those NA invaders are well known over here. So I guarantee you they've watched them play enough to the point where they can have some sort of idea of what they're gonna do in bracket, which gives them an upper hand. And like, I don't care how good you think you are at the game or how good you actually are. If you don't study for your opponent, like if you as a top player don't prepare and don't study for your opponent, who is a high level player or slightly lower level player than you, but they do prepare for you, you're probably going to lose.
You're at a disadvantage.
Exactly. You're at a disadvantage and you're doing it for yourself. So, and again, I think that's like the main thing in all this, because I mean, I watched some of the sets, haven't gone to watch all the upsets, but I've seen a few, and I've seen like just players just playing the normal game. Like I don't see any specific call outs in the Japanese players' habits or any like, oh, I'm not gonna do this thing because I've gotten punished for it, or they're specifically looking for this. Like I don't see that type of gameplay. I didn't see that type of gameplay, but I did see it from Japanese players. Like Japanese players, that's very clearly studied up and very clearly had an idea of what to do coming into the set.
I can definitely co-sign that, specifically from the, I don't really know his tag, but the Donkey Kong player that beat Spargo, the fact that there was this one instance that he did against Spargo to win the set that was so simple. All he did was when Spargo was in the air, he was shielding already, and then all he did was just unshield and turn around shield, just knowing that Spargo was gonna cross him up. That has to be something that you already know about the player that you punish. That's something that you study and see, okay, he likes to cross up shield with back air in scenarios like this. That's probably why, because they also play the winners. I can understand if you play somebody in losers and you're not really ready for it, because anything can basically happen in losers bracket. You don't know how upsets can happen, but if you're going through winners bracket, you can always prepare for who you have to play. And that was a clear representation of this guy is ready for this scenario against Spargo.
That is such goated advice. So that let me ask you something. Let me ask you something that I think is imperative for like the whole how we can prevent this from happening again, how we can heal these wounds and go back into battle in several months when it comes to Japan. Because Light said it best, yeah, they ain't won a tournament on American soil. Though to be fair, I will admit, you know, I mean, Battle of BC is pretty damn close, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like Hurt won that. Mia has not had as successful as this year, and then Akola just hasn't been here. The next time, Sonics, you have to face off against Akola, Mia, or Hurt. What are we thinking, bro? Are you going to be the guy that reminds these motherfuckers why NA's on top?
Hell yeah.
You can beat them?
Of course.
Because I'm going to bet on you. I'm going to put some money down on you. I need you to say you're going to win.
I'll make you some bank. I'll make you rich, bro. I got you.
Are you gonna join us on our Japanese expedition, the Avengers expedition, where we go over there and show them what the fuck is really good?
Yes, sir.
Everybody pencil in.
That's why this might go too.
Everybody pencil in Umibora, because I think that could be the time where everybody reconvenes this September. That could be the one. But Sonics, thank you so much for joining us and your time and your insight, which is always invaluable, my friend. It was always a pleasure, man.
Thank you for having me, guys.
My goat went crazy. Let's go, Zachary. Woo!
That was the funnest part of the tournament.
I'm trying to remember everything. There's a lot to talk about. We kind of dove into very specific things, but bro, watching Zachary play Smash,
It's
godlike.
I've been the most negative, don't care about Smash mood. Like I go through phases where I'm still playing, but I don't like watching, or like when I am watching, I don't like it either. Like when I watch Zach, it's like all of the hatred in my heart goes away, dude. I become like a pure soul. Like it's funny because he's playing like an angel too. Bro, watching this dude play Smash is beautiful.
Yep.
Like I don't just say stuff like that, bro. I really don't. I can love watching people play Smash, but I'm not gonna say watching it is like magic. Watching this dude make decisions is amazing. It's amazing.
With Pitt, bro.
And Pitt is low, like
wild.
It's not even just like. I'm not that thing. I'm not the type that's like, oh, he's using like a bad character and winning. Like that's not what I care about. I think Pitt's fire. Like I think Pitt's good. I just genuinely think watching Zachary play Smash is fucking amazing. Like, please play Smash like forever. Like we need to do some sort of thing where we like keep his brain after he like gets old and dies.
Whoa.
And like can like put it into another body so he can keep playing Smash, bro.
Robot Zachary.
Yeah, please. Robot Zachary for life or something. Like watching him play Smash, even Rob. Rob is the wackest shit ever, but like watching him play Rob is sick. The Pit's way cooler, but still.
それでは今日の英単語を見ていきましょう。Local, Weekly、複数形は Weeklies。平日大会のことで、ちなみに大型大会の前の日にある大会をプリローカルと言います。例文I go to locals every week. 平日大会に毎週行っている。End up. 結局はなんとかとなる。例文 I was behind at first, but I ended up winning. 最初は負けていたが結局勝った。Venue. 大会の会場のことを言います。例文Venues of overseas tournaments are always huge. 海外大会の会場はいつもバカでかい。これはちなみに事実です。Invade 侵略するという意味なんですけど、日本勢が海外大会へ出たり、海外勢が日本の大会へ出たりすることを言います。で、その選手たちのことを Invader とも言います。例文A lot of overseas players invaded Japan for Kagaribi. 多くの海外勢がかがり火のために日本へ行った。Habits プレイの癖のことを言います。例文 It's important to learn your opponent's habits. 対戦相手の癖を知ることは大切だ。 disadvantage。ゲームの中での不利状況のことを表します。例文 You have to try to get out of disadvantage。不利状況から抜け出す方法を考えないと。call out。読みに似ている表現なんですが、敵がしてくる動きを完璧に読んで反撃すること。例文 What a call out。その読み間近。gamer tag なんですが、略して tag とも言います。ハンドルネームのことです。例文 What's your tag？ 君のハンドルネーム何？はい、今回は以上です。見てくださってありがとうございました。